What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Roots of Success podcast. I am your host, Nate the Great, and today we have a very special guest, my guy, Bobby Castro. How you doing, brother?
Thank you, Nate. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. I'm glad we could, make some time for this. I know you're a super busy individual with all the traveling and most importantly, the business that you do. I mean, my gosh. So kind of, walk the audience through a little bit of who you are, where you come from, and basically, what it is that you do.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I think it's important, Nate, to let everyone know this is coming out of my heart. I'm sharing all my experience, all my big mistakes, with no motives, only good intentions. I'm expecting nothing in return. I don't sell packages. I don't have masterminds, retreats. I'm just this individual that 4 months ago or close to 5 months ago started on social media after I recently sold a business that I founded 19 years ago. I sold a business for a valuation of $1 billion and started the company from scratch. No investors, just really in the very beginning survival mode, and then it led to a business. And then throughout the years, a ton of real estate, multifamily, cash flow and assets, and failed at the ninth grade. Failed at the third grade, left school after the ninth grade. And then when I sold this business, my son Brandon said, "Dad, man, I think, I can put you on social media because you're a giver, man. I'm a lover. I love to give because I do believe in this crazy energy. You give, you receive in certain ways, and that invoice may come back to you in ways that you have no clue, but there is an invoice that comes back when you treat people with respect, kind, good intentions." And I learned that, man, and that made me a lot of money, but more so forget about the fact that what I have earned financially in my life so far, Nate.
Yeah.
The biggest bonus, man, is how I feel. I mean, I'm 52 years old and I'm floating like a 19-year-old. I love people. I love being exposed to opportunities. I like leveraging opportunities. So I decided to come on social media to share. How long? I don't know. I have a little time on my hands. I stay busy with my non-refundable minutes. So, I'm being a little picky now with the podcast, and I'm trying to team up with individuals like yourself that have sincere, good intentions about value, giving value. And, today I built a personal net worth of $300 million. I don't feel like I have. I feel like I still got $5. I'm well grounded. My mom was a waitress all my life. Now it's called Denny's. Before it was called Sambo's. So my mom was the waitress, man. When you and your buddies came home or just left a wedding or a nightclub and you stop at Denny's to get a late 5 a.m. meal, that beautiful waitress that was waiting on you or will wait on you was my mom, KC. And she will wait on you, give you incredible value, fight every second for that 18% tip, and then she'll get off that graveyard shift, walk home. And the reason she walked home was there was no car to go to another job. So we had to live and rent close to where my mother worked. And she went home, took a shower, rest for a few hours, then went to her second gig, being a waitress. Same deal. And then when she was done with that, Nate, she came home, dressed for a couple hours, rest, went to the Roni Pub Steakhouse all the way in Miami Beach to wait on tables. 3 jobs. Yeah, man. And so she was this giver because she was a hospitality professional that had to give value when she waited on you and made sure your experience was bar none, man. It was the best because she had to fight for her 3 boys. It's myself, Eric, who is like my best friend. We're 18 months apart. He and I founded the firm. I'll get a little bit into that later on, the company that I sold. And we have a younger brother, Kevin. And seeing my mom just grind it out all her life, government housing, food stamps, rent a center, meaning that there was no beds, there was nothing, because we didn't have the money to pay for it nor the credit to finance it because we had bad credit. My mom had a rent a center. That means when you have a little coffee table, a bed that you sleep on, or a couch you sit on, my mom had to rent it. And every week they demanded that fee. And there were so many times that they picked up the furniture they probably picked up the furniture more times than we had the darn thing, and it just bothered me to see that constant struggle. And I was not good in school, and I'm still not good today. I don't comprehend things, and a lot of things I move very quick, and I learned I was handicapped, man, where I couldn't comprehend things, and I would get so distracted. And a lot of teachers in the third grade were frustrated with me. I was frustrated with them throughout the school. And then in the ninth grade, they were very frustrated because if I don't understand you, I will raise your hand. Well, what do you mean, Nate? What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
So I think they thought I was like being maybe sarcastic or a difficult child, or I appeared to be maybe bright and smart.
Yeah.
I'm not. And so I got tired of them. They got tired of me because I was frustrated with them. They were frustrated with me. And I told my mom in the ninth grade, I said, Mom, it's not for me. And my mom knew it, man. It knew it. And it started dawning on me in the last few months since I've been doing these podcasts. Been speaking so much about my mom. Incredible. And she knew. She never, no pushback. Imagine your son after the ninth grade. Now ninth grade is high school. Back then it was junior high. Yeah. Saying, hey, I want to leave. and she supported me, man. And she got me she got me my first job at Pasquale's at a restaurant in Red Road in Hialeah, outside Miami. And I was a takeout busboy, and I was so good at it because I see my mom, and I would always say hello to people. I was always nice to people, and that's where the people skills that made me a fortune. Saying good morning, hello, and just really thinking how important it is to leverage people skills, even if you're dealing with a difficult personality in hospitality. You got to comply, you got to bend, you got to adapt. And I learned it quickly because of my mother. And so I did that situation, valet parking, waiter. I had my first child, Priscilla. I was a waiter at Rusty Pelican. Priscilla's 28 years old now. And she was a baby, man. And I was at the Rusty Pelican, a waiter selling over the phone during the day. Constant struggle. And things started happening for me when I started realizing nothing was happening. And the reason nothing was happening, and I used to blame everyone, man. I used to blame my family. My father, he passed at 94 years old about 7-8 years ago. He had 15 children, several different ladies. A lot of personalities, a lot of passion. My dad, he was Puerto Rican. My mother's Jewish and Irish. Okay. And, there's a lot of what I call beautiful passion, filled with a lot of personalities, a lot of chaos. But I didn't want to deal with it. It's almost like, not to compare my family to the show Shameless, but it was chaotic, and it's still chaotic, And so I ran from it a little bit because I got kind of, not depressed, kind of negative, that this constant struggle, this constant habit of us blaming why we're broke upon other people. And I wasn't buying into it a little bit. And as a waiter and a valet driver, I used to see these successful individuals pull up. And somehow, some way, I smelled that, man, they're doing good. And I was always curious of why they're doing good. And I've noticed that, man, there's no magic to this individual. He just has information. I didn't realize that until I was later in life about this information stuff. So, man, I stopped getting distracted. I was one that had ideas over ideas. I was this young entrepreneur, like a lot of young entrepreneurs today, and we all have these ideas. Oh my God, I have another idea. Oh my God, I have another idea. And you just become blasted out of the planet, and nothing gets done because you're so distracted. And that was me. And things started changing when I leveraged my people skills. When someone said, hey, Bobby, I'll buy this membership from you. And I was a waiter at night under one condition. What? You come work for me. I said, absolutely. High five. Wow. And that got me into the equipment leasing business, where if you're a business owner and I am a bank, but you need back in the day, x-ray machine, a copier. Yeah. I was a broker who arranged the financing, and then the bank will pay me my commission. Oh, okay. So I was pretty good at it, and more so with healthcare professionals, because I realized the behavior, the personality. They didn't have the time. They didn't want to wait in line. That's true. They just want it now. So I took advantage of that and understanding. That's why I always say, people skills. You got to understand who you're talking to, who's your customer base, what are their pain points. Yeah. I picked up on it without understanding or knowing that I picked up on it. Because I was trying to survive. Yeah. And you'll be surprised, guys, when you're surviving out there and you're trying to figure out life like I did and like I still do, you are actually learning these behaviors all over, and just tune in a little bit and try not to get so distracted like Bobby did back in the day. And then I started polishing myself, and these non-refundable minutes came into play where I'm saying, man, I got to pay attention. I got to separate from some individuals, a lot of family members. That's a sensitive topic.
Yes.
Because I needed to, not waste and spend this energy with this chaos that we were all stuck. All the information we knew, that we all knew there was no new information, so that's why we keep getting stuck.
Yeah.
So I had to pivot outside and get new information. And with people skills, man, and people skills, I tell everyone, you leverage people skills like you leverage capital, and no one understands that, and I get it, man. I didn't understand it either, but the power of people skills created $300 million for me. That's crazy. I was totally broke, but by leveraging, being kind, transparent, no motives, you'll be so surprised. I mean, so many people meet me today on the social media, and man, I wish I had time to coach them, and I don't.
Right.
And they come at me and they say, hey, Bobby, I got an investment for you. Man, Happy New Year, dude. Tell me Happy New Year. Give me, get to know me. Let me get to know you. That relationships happen gradually, and then it will ask for that invitation. And a lot of even salespeople didn't understand that. They don't understand that. And I was sales all my life, man. And sometimes you just gotta build it. And no different on how I build my wealth. I continue to do so. I have over $300 million, about $330 million of cash flow in real estate assets that I've been buying throughout the years. Provides me and my family about $350,000 a month in positive, no tax implication cash flow every month. That's just one of many different investments. And anybody can do this. And not to get off topic a little bit, which I do at times, it's so important for young people, and that's why I'm spending a lot of time on Instagram, because that's where the youth is, not to get distracted and buy into all this flash that you're on your device and you're seeing some awesome individuals, but there's a lot of Ferraris, there's a lot of planes, there's a lot of houses, there's so many beautiful things that we all want in life.
Right.
But by looking and soaking yourself into it is getting nothing done. You're not going to learn nothing from being wowed. So the motive of information, the information you're listening to, is the information asking you for something they're asking you for something. So they're going to not persuade you. I want to be very careful. There's some great people on social media I've been meeting. But the motive of information, you got to be aware of what you're putting in your subconscious mind, because we only process, it's called 70,000 thoughts a day. And you're processing it, and what's going to come out on your conscious mind is so important. And I'm seeing on social media so many of these awesome masterminds, retreats, packages, seminars. It's everywhere. And I look like if Bobby was, again, 19 years old, 18, 16, 20, 25, whatever, even 52, my God, which way do I go? What do I do? There's just so much. And what happens, you do nothing. You get stuck. Yeah. You're stuck, land.
Literally.
And so you be careful of what information you're digesting. Is it really helping you at the stage where you're at? I used to pre-pivot, Nate. I was 19 years old, man. I was already thinking about the Ferrari. And I realized it was nothing. It was preventing me to actually grow and get out of the stage I was at, man. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I never raised any investor's money, including that $330 million portfolio. Not one investor. I didn't raise. I don't syndicate. Nothing. I worked every friggin' penny for that, including my primary business that I sold on a valuation of $1 billion. So my exit, and I did that in 3 stages to give you some backbone to it. About 6 years ago, I'm not sure, we sold 30% based on a $250 million valuation. Okay. Wow, somebody wants to pay us $250. This talks about the power of information. Sure, we'll do it. All cash. Yeah. Being closed. Got $25 million in my account. And this and that, and wondering, well, why would someone pay $250 million valuation? Man, are they crazy? Well, information that you don't know is so powerful. Yeah. So I simply do a Google. Google is the most powerful tool on this planet. I Googled and I realized, good for them, man. They stole it. They knew what they were doing and I didn't know what I was doing. They stole it for $250 million. Good for them.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get mine. What did I do? I took that information and I pivoted it. We took the company and 11 months later, we went to the same buyer that bought that 30%.
That's right, yeah.
We said, listen, you have the first right of refusal. We're going to market because we want to take another 19% off the table and still control 51% because we sold 30, we stayed with 70, but it's $600 million. 11 months later.
Wow.
The deal closed.
Holy.
3 years later, took the information, fueled it more, didn't get distracted, wasn't on my device, wasn't just fantasy land and all these ideas. I was dialed in. Took it to $1 billion. So watch, the point I'm trying to, and all of that stuff was cash.
Yeah.
There was no, stock exchange, all cash.
Okay.
That same company will produce over a net income this year of $180 million. That's net income. That's after everything's paid, after all the war stories, what's left over, you have to pay your taxes on. The reason I bring that up, Nate, the power of information is so important, man. Again, please listen to me because I have no motives. I'm not selling you anything. I'm only telling you based on my experience, the power of information. What information are you're taking in? Because whatever you're taking in, I don't care how smart you are, how strong you are, you are consuming this information, and somewhere in this subconscious mind, and slowly, consciously, you're going to act upon this information. Is it Donkey Kong information? Is it bona fide information? Is the information you're listening to want money from you? That's why you're just all zazzy and dazzled. It's so important to understand how to manage information. And I know it's probably harder now than it was for me back then, but yet easy because there's so much information being exposed to us.
Yeah.
But it's even more awesome because you have a lot of incredible free information. Everybody wants the secret sauce and they think they got to pay for it. You are the secret sauce, man. I'm going to take my $300 million and I'm going to take it to $1 billion because I have the information.
Yeah.
No one can convince me anything different. I buy my real estate because I understand 2 + 2 = 4. No matter how they want to fancy and dancy it, it still equals 4.
Absolutely.
So I can get all crazy on this because I have so much. Sharing is caring, man. I'm so obsessed with it because that's how I made money, man. I made money not being rough and tough. Oh, you got to be tough in business. Man, I win 9 out of 10 times on a negotiation table. And guess how I do that? Being who I am and not what I'm not. I'm respectful. I'm kind. I listen. I don't react.
Yeah.
The power of just what I just said, and I know it's so boring. No, Bobby, it has to be more than that. Man, I'm telling you. Each of us, Nate, you're the only one on the planet that is you. That is, talk about supply and demand. You are a rare asset, yet we don't give ourselves that value.
Right.
Is that crazy? I know that's kind of deep for young people.
Not at all.
There's not another Nate out there.
Right. There's only one, yeah.
So why would you want to be somebody else when you're the one of a kind? You're only 1 out of 1 billion. So I can get all,
You got the passion.
I do, because I care, man, because and there's beautiful people out there that have great intentions on social media. They're really, truly helping individuals. I met some incredible people, and they have bona fide content and information. I'm only telling the individuals that are looking to pivot that information. Before doing so, man, get yourself right, because if you don't get yourself right, that information is worthless. If you're really staying true to the core of not getting distracted, limited, disconnected from some people, not because they're bad people, you only have a certain amount of capacity. Give me 2 feet. I need some room here because I got to get my crap together, man. Because if anyone cannot make money and become wealthy today in 2020, the issue is you. You are responsible for yourself, your outcomes, everything. Start talking to yourself, you will be so surprised. You'll say, yeah, man, I got to get my crap together. Nate, I'm seeing so many 20-something-year-olds on video games. I'm talking to them. I was talking to a 14-year-old. Listen, dude, I'm 52 years old, built a $300 million net worth, and I DM everybody back, man. I can't help but say thank you, man, grateful, much love, and somebody, and I'm not a good typer. I'm not good on the technology, man. I was able to leverage other people for that. So this beautiful individual typing, he's so quick. I said, listen, man, what's your phone number? I just called him. I'm talking to him, and he sounds like a cool little dude. I'm saying, man, how old are you? Because I was asking, will you work? Or how come you're not working a second job?
Right.
I'm only 14.
14.
He goes, Bobby, I can't believe I'm speaking to you. And I said to myself, man, I can't believe it either. So I'm just coming from my heart, man. There's no motives. A lot of people. I belong to a group, incredible individuals, probably net worth of $80 billion plus. We meet once a month, and I know they don't get it, man. That's cool. They say, Bobby, man, what are you doing? Why are you killing yourself like this? You're there? Because I want to, man. I want to help people right now in my stage of my life, and they don't get it, which is cool. But I'm this whack job, man, that wants to help another Bobby, because I know there's a lot of struggle out there, and I already know I made an impact on a few lives. I know that. In California, I did a contest. I'm speaking at some event. I didn't want one penny, not one penny, man. Don't even give me a cab. Don't even pay my damn Uber.
Right.
And I gave 3 beautiful people I selected 1 hour of my time. This afternoon, I'm going to meet them. 1 hour of my time. Help them in any which way I can. Yes. And the beautiful thing, Nate, when you meet people that have some sort of wealth, don't be skeptical, because some people truly want to help others, because they're saying, man, this is not as difficult as you may think. But watch out for the ones like this. If they have an answer for every question, every topic, every subject, stay away from them. You want to deal with individuals that don't know it all. They're not the smartest person. And I see so many people on social media, they have an answer. They're the rock star of every topic. They know it all. I'm going to say, man, I've been speaking to a lot of people, and I'm only able to answer 50% of the questions, because guess what? The other 50%, man, I don't know. I haven't experienced that. So, that's sincerity, man. And I'm hoping that, a lot more successful people like myself see me doing this and give back to these young people. Not because I feel bad for them. They're just like Bobby, man. They're all over the place, man. And that's all it is. It's a little adjustment, man. And I see a lot of beautiful people now investing in real estate. They're so excited because they're seeing individuals like myself and others that are just creating so much wealth. But make no mistake about it, guys. How I did it and how they all did it. They started this small. No one starts here. Don't let them fool you. I started here with one home, one rental home. Some people start, and I went from one. I went to a duplex, triplex, no exaggeration, fourplex, fiveplex, 6. I actually did, and you know why? I started way up here, and I lost millions of dollars. I overpaid, I over-leveraged myself. I almost filed bankruptcy. Forget about the real estate stuff. My business that I sold for $1 billion, that valuation, I almost filed bankruptcy there because I was so stubborn, thinking I knew it all. And I went a wrong direction when other individuals knew a little bit more, because you only have strengths and weaknesses, right? Absolutely. So you feel your strengths. Right. It'll take a lifetime to fix your weaknesses. That's when you leverage other people to help you with your weaknesses. I didn't bend to that. And I almost filed bankruptcy on that. And I created 2 nine-figure net worth, one on my business and one on real estate. You could do this on every type of business, real estate, all businesses. But you gotta focus. You don't be the smartest person. Leverage people. Surround yourself with quality, sincere quality, transparency. And just learn from the big mistakes. And I was very fortunate that I learned from the big mistakes. I didn't repeat them, because once you repeat the big mistakes, man, it gets darker. It just gets darker. And that's what I'm hoping I can help folks. Don't make big mistakes out there. Big mistakes. Pay attention to this market, man. Our country has never been better. You have under 3% unemployment. It's a rock star right now, but it's very expensive. So if you have $200,000, $100,000, $50,000 in your savings account, I call it stack and rack because savings is stacking, racking is to invest. You are not missing out on nothing right now. What you're missing out is not taking advantage of paying attention to customers, expanding your business. If you're a business owner, get off social media unless social media brings you business. I don't know how that all works.
Yeah.
Start paying attention to your business because when the economy in a few years, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, who knows when, changes, you're going to wish you paid attention to your business and took advantage of the opportunity today versus being all distracted like Bobby was, and I missed it. I missed a couple different cycles in my life because I'm 52 years old. I've seen some ups and downs, and I survived through them all. And I'm telling young people, man, plug in right now. If you're a salesperson, pay attention to those customers. Increase your revenue by 20%. Go get a second job. I don't even care if you have to be a waiter like me. Every penny. If you're that hungry, and many people say, Bobby, I'm so freaking hungry.
Yeah.
How hungry are you if you're not willing to even be a waiter at night and you have an extra 4 hours? Get on an Uber. Do something.
Man, I might as well just drop the mic on that.
You know, I just want to wake up people, man, because if I did it, anybody can do it, man.
Absolutely. And it's so funny, Bobby, because, you know, we live in such a, obviously, technological world, social media, and, you know, there's a lot of people, they just don't take it serious. They don't focus on, you know, a personal brand. They don't focus on, you know, having somebody that can actually help them with it.
Yeah.
And I always recommend, because, you know, I have a marketing company and things, I always say, like, you need to capitalize on these outlets.
That's right.
Because it's publicity. It's free publicity. You're not paying for an Instagram. You're not paying for a TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, like the whole YouTube and things. Like, it's all free. Google's free,
Incredible.
like you said. And it's such a huge accessible data point for all of us to access. And I mean, there's mixed reviews on college, of course, nowadays,
Yep.
because it's like you have all these resources. You have people like yourself that, you know, can coach others and, you know, really dedicate time and speak life into them. And you didn't necessarily have outlets like this 10, 20, 30 years ago. So it's like there's so much noise in the marketplace. And I love how you were saying about the cars, the money and stuff that's just like thrown out there, because there's a lot of talkers. So many
A
talkers
lot of
out
blah,
there.
blah, blah, right?
Yeah, and they haven't necessarily obtained the results yet.
Yeah.
And it's great to speak. It's great to empower others. But at the end of the day, it's like you need to have some kind of tangible like action steps, some results that go with that.
Absolutely.
And me being 23, I see this all the time because there's a lot of like life coaches, there's a lot of like transformational experts, you know, so-called gurus. And I'm thinking, bro, like what's good? You feel me?
Yep, you're right.
And it's like,
You're right.
I look at like someone like you and the results that you've been able to achieve, and that's inspiring to me because I look at that and I'm like, wow, talk about growth, talk about learning from somebody that's done something.
Oh man, Nate,
You know?
man, if this social media, especially because this social media is so fascinating.
Yeah.
So many people should be leveraging social media instead of being a consumer of it. Get something from it. Looking back on my business, and when I start another business, I'll make sure to do this. I will leverage social media and the internet through marketing campaigns now that I'm aware of it, versus being a somebody that's just like this. There's a way to get economics from it so you can obtain customers, and now you don't have to be a fan of social media. Social media can work for you, for your growth, for your business. Just don't sit on the couch. Attack it. It's a powerful thing that's gonna go away, man. I'm even find myself on this damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
and it's powerful. I'm gonna give it that. So take that power, start utilizing to expand your business, get customers, whatever your deal is. Look for a friggin' job on social media, whatever it is.
For real. You know, use it to your advantage. Something I love to do, Bobby, is whenever I get DMs on like Instagram or, you know, social media, I always like to be different, right? I'm not a big texter, I'll be honest. I like to send audio messages, but most importantly, I like to send video messages because I realize I've been doing this since I was 13, 14, recording motivational videos and things, and being 23 now. One of my greatest strengths is being in front of the camera and just straight up like, hey, what's up, Bobby? Nate the Great coming at you. I just wanted to see, you know, about the podcast, you know, like stuff like that really fuels me and it drives me. And I realize that back to the strengths and the weaknesses, things like that's my strength.
People skills,
Is
dude.
being exactly. So whenever you're saying about the people skills, I relate to that so much because it's funny you mentioned Rent-A-Center. I used to work at Rent-A-Center
Really?
for like 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. I almost threw my back out. So I was like, I gotta get out of there. You feel me? But then the customer service, like the exporting goods, selling cars, working at McDonald's. I mean, I had people giving me tips at McDonald's just because of the people skills. Even though you're not supposed to take tips, I'm like, let me just take it. You feel me? So it's like the people skills, I agree so much, and it's so valuable, and especially being around higher caliber people.
Yeah.
And I love how you said that if somebody that is wealthy or somebody that has all the answers, you don't want that.
No, man, no.
I love that. And I would love for you to kind of, I guess, just touch on that more, because I feel like there is a misperception within the youth and the millennial generation that they think, okay, just because you have the money, just because you have the status and you have the fame, that you know everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like people belittle themselves, Bobby, because they feel as if the knowledge that they've accumulated with the books that they've read, that they're not worthy enough to be in that same room as that person.
Yeah. It's
You know what I
crazy,
mean?
man?
Yeah.
There's something I say a lot. Ego is not your amigo, man. I've been around a lot of different individuals, and I even fell victim of being the smartest person in the room some years ago, and it completely limited my growth financially. Just growing more in life, because life never stops moving. The only way it stops moving if you stop moving. Yeah. And ego's not your amigo, man. And if you have a business, whether it's a one-man shop, you employ 10 people, whatever the case may be, don't be that smartest person in the room, because if you are, and you're going to fall victim to it like I used to, and then you'll start realizing, my gosh, I brought people to help me scale. I leverage people, and I'm not allowing it to happen because I think I know it all, because I'm just so used to being reactive. And when you're not listening, you're reactive. If you're not letting someone finish a sentence, especially a customer. And I see so many people that I even do business with today, and I just take a back seat, and I view them, and I walk away with no value. And sometimes, most of the time, it kills a relationship. It kills growth. It kills where employees just want to leave. When I exited my company about 6 months ago, whenever it was, 6-7 months ago, we had over 500 employees, man. And these employees, they've impacted my life. I'll never forget them. And it's such a sensitive topic. And if you're one of them, man, I love you, because you have touched my life. And I'm still emotional a little bit about that. I left the back door, dude. I didn't even go out the front door. That's still because they were everything to me. And I didn't even go to the holiday party this December because I'm so. That's why I guess, man, I'm all over this social media, because it's keeping me busy. I'm giving back. I'm getting value from it. But now, even with this podcast, it's I'm all about value, because anyways, I got to close that other door, from all those beautiful employees that touch my life. But don't be that smartest person. If you're a manager, if you're a business owner, or if you're aspiring to be a business owner, or if you're a realtor, whatever the case may be, man, if you agree, well, yeah, you're right. I know some people like that, but you'll be surprised that we all fall victim to that at times. And try to be aware of it. So next time you're paying for something or looking to pay for something, be aware of the information that you're being exposed to, and how you're treating customers. And if you have the answer to every topic, every question, I promise you, man, you got to limit some people out of your life and spend some time with yourself, like Bobby did, because Bobby doesn't lie to Bobby. When we're by ourselves, man, we know it in our core what we should be doing, what we're not doing. We know. But the way we ignore it or run from it, we stay busy with the blah, 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 and you never really confront the biggest elephant in the room, is yourself. So, the smartest, I've been around a lot of them, Nate, and I'm not a fan of it at all. Have I dealt with them to do business with? Of course, that's part of it. I didn't allow that to interrupt my business with them. I took an advantage where I said, okay, let me just filter this information, because this person just knows everything. So let me vet this. Let me do some due diligence here before I go in business with this person, before I do something with this person, and then a lot of the times you're going to have a customer that knows it all. Your job, if you're in sales like I was all my life, you listen. You let that customer talk. Let him or her vent out, because you're not going to fight that personality. That is a customer. So now it's not like an option where I got to do business or not. You want to earn their business, so allow them to talk. They will wear themselves out, and that's where you'll address the pain points. So I'm glad that you asked me that question, because I'm thinking about my employees, man.
Absolutely. I can tell that touches home
Yeah.
significantly too. And, you know, just looking back at the moments that, you know, we've been through in our lives, there's a lot of gratitude, you know, so much gratitude to be grateful for. And that's something I've really applied, you know, I'd say like last year significantly, was just being grateful for what it is that I've been through. I mean, being 23, coming out here to Los Angeles, California, being around, you know, people like yourself and people of influence and, you know, celebrities and things and that I can actually relate with. It's a blessing, you know, it really is. And I'm grateful for every single opportunity.
And you
that I
got
get.
great people skills, man.
Thank you, brother.
That's how you got
appreciate
you got this podcast right when I finally met you in person like this. You're picking up on it already. And that's beautiful at 23. At 23, man, I had my first baby. I think I was 22. Yeah,
22.
Priscilla. And so you're a lot ahead of me. Just to give you, everyone wants to have a comp in life. Like, hey, they always get the question, Bobby, when did you have your first $1 million in the bank?
Right.
And I know the backdrop of the question was, hey, how am I doing on my RPMs?
Yeah.
But dude, you have great people skills. You're understanding the concept of life. And the personal growth is very, very important. If you're not willing to really expand, stretch, adapt, adjust, man, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. And be nice to people, man. Just adapt, stretch, and don't invest those non-refundable minutes, all that energy on wasted stuff. Control this momentum. If you're arguing with your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be, don't let it get out of control, because it's just the wrong type of momentum, man. And just, it's easy, man, if you spend some time by yourself. I don't have many friends. My friends are who you see here, my 2 children, their life partners, my 2 grandbabies, my wife. Of course, I have a meaningful, and I get fulfilled from relationships outside this small circle I have, but it's not big. Yeah. Not because other people are bad. I just like to spend my energy, because I have a lot of energy. And I like to give, man. When I give in a big way. Love that. Because guess what? I found out I get it in a big way. It keeps coming to me. Yeah. And so I say always, an invoice to pay in life for all your actions, your decisions. There's an invoice. Somehow, some way, it delivers it to you. Question is, what type of invoice do you want?
What kind of, man, I love that. And just to attest to that, Bobby, like the listening skills, I love doing the podcast so much because I get a chance to, of course, listen to people that are doing incredible things. And just to touch on the people skills again, I've realized, if somebody's like super, I guess, extroverted or is used to being like dominant personality-wise, like that's great, but then you got to know when to turn it back.
Yep. You got to control that momentum, right?
Yeah, because when you turn it back, it's like, then you can listen to your spouse, your partner, your business partner. And, like this podcast, I could easily just be like, dominate. And there's people that, they have podcasts, they do things and they dominate like that. If it works for them, it works for them. But I realize how important it is to listen. Yeah, man. Because in listening to the right people,
right information,
right? Not listening to somebody that is, that might not have the right info, like you said. And so listening and truly being in tune with them. Yeah. That's something that I've realized just to myself, Bobby, has been very, very, critical just to my success. And it's been incredible. And I'm sure you can attest to that big time.
You want to get, when you're meeting with a customer or business associate or anybody, you want to maximize that non-refundable minutes that you are spending right there at that moment. So the only way to maximize it, at least how I see it, Nate, is to listen. I used to be very reactive. I used to, because as you can tell, my personality, I'm just very hyper. I'm very excited in life. But I started really controlling the momentum where you get more value when you listen in because you're digesting more. So you can actually locate the pain points of the conversation, where there's true value, where you're going to receive value. It's powerful, man. And just that, if you're in sales, we're all in sales, man. We're even convincing ourselves to, hey, can I get over the lane? You're in the airport. Hey, can I get in there? So you know, it's so important. We're all in sales in life, man. My granddaughter, she's selling me this morning. Why to give her that cookie? You know, and I'm listening and I'm figuring out why should I give it to her. And of course I gave it to her.
Oh, that's fun. And you know, it's also, you know, Bobby, just to kind of go off of that as well, is just the, you know, like the cookie thing, because a lot of people, I feel like they kind of they receive things easily, and they expect just like a lot of free handouts.
Yeah, dude.
But again, you got to fall in love with the journey. You got to fall in love with the process.
Fall in love with that process.
That's crucial.
Man,
because if you don't fall in love with the process and you're just falling in love, again, you know, with the cars or being at the top, it's like, you can't crave it. You can't embrace it. And if you're up there, that's why people that are born into wealth, they can't appreciate
that's right.
the smaller things.
That's right.
And they're just like, man, like it doesn't faze me. And they don't understand the struggle. But a lot of the successful and most dominant entrepreneurs of all time, business people, like they have that story, like you said, that story where they were broke or they were homeless. You know, they say the greatest feeling in the entire universe is being in poverty, because it's like there's no better feeling of just knowing where, man, I don't have anything, you know, but you have yourself.
That's right.
That's the main thing. It's just,
it's huge.
It's incredible. Yeah.
It's huge.
I guess, you know, Bobby, for you, I want you to touch on this. For somebody that, because again, you have a ton of energy. I love it. I love the energy. For somebody that wants to bring out that energy, bring out that inner lion, that beast within them, what would you recommend would be something that they can do?
I love it.
Really do that.
And a lot of my content is for the masses. And when I say masses, I'm speaking to housekeepers at hotels. You know, that's where my heart is, man. People that are truly stuck and they think that it's just this the rest of their life. And 6 out of 10 people hate going to their job in the morning. That's scary, 6 out of 10. And they do have to fall in love with our process. That's just not, you can pivot in life. And what worked for me, I didn't speak until I was 7 years old. I'm so glad you brought this up. Yeah. And I said this on many other podcasts. I was really shy, dude, really shy. And I don't know what happened. You know, my mom did something right. And, you know, of course, I just started building up confidence. The more you're by yourself, the more you can actually tune into, if you're looking at an investment, a business, trying to maximize how to expand, how to scale, whatever the situation is, if you spend time with yourself, you're going to build confidence that no one can ever convince you different. I have so much confidence, good confidence, that I am sold on myself, my capabilities, my tenacity in a good way. I know how to really manage it. And the only way you're going to do that is that you spend some time with yourself and you limit some people out of your life for a moment in time so you can find out who you are, what is truly your weaknesses. And a lot of people should take something. It's an assessment. You get it free online on Google. Don't pay for it. You're not at that stage yet. It's called DISC, D-I-S-C. It's an assessment. It will tell you who you are, how you're wired, what your strengths, your weaknesses, and all that. You'll find out 9 out of 10, you go, wow, this is me. Well, when you say this is me, find out more about that. The more you get confidence in yourself and you start building this internal love for yourself. You know, I don't want to sound kind of wicked and kind of off the charts here. That's how all I could do is to tell you what worked for me. Man, when I got some people, I got some elbow space, I started really being true to myself, saying, man, I got to get my crap together. I got to do this. And when you start doing all this, you start receiving, you start digging. As you're digging, you're getting, and this confidence goes up. And then you can actually stand tall. You can be proud of who you are. I am hungry. I want more in life. I know 2 + 2 = 4. No one can convince me different. But I'm willing to listen. So I think spending time with yourself, at least for me, Nate, that's what worked for me. I don't know about others. And I was that introvert. Okay. I was clearly an introvert. I can't shut up now, dude. I mean, my battery doesn't turn off. People on social media, you know, it's cool, and I get it. Right. It's not the first time it was told to me. And I was diagnosed with I don't know what the words are, HDD or all this,
ADHD or
just the hyper stuff. And people would say, man, are you doing cocaine? Do you do speed? I don't do none of that, man. I am high on life. I continue getting paid on life. Forget about the financial dividends I receive each and every day, each and every minute. Even when I sleep, I'm getting paid. Forget about that Donkey Kong stuff. I'm getting paid growing, man. Just growing and stretching. Look at I'm on social media. I never knew this 4 or 5 months ago. Now I'm like saying, wow, this is a whole different world. I want to know more, man. Marketing, man, if I had this business, I can drive in revenue from doing this on that. That's where I am on social media. I'm not just, oh my God, look at that Ferrari. Oh my God, look at that beautiful lady. Oh my God, look at that. My mind is wired. My gosh, how can I leverage this if I had a business? I even tell my brother now, say, Eric, man, you got to start leveraging on this internet, this social media. So that's how I see it. Imagine if others use that and you start convincing yourself, wow, I should start paying attention on a different side of the street, looking at social media versus being a consumer of.
Use social media. Don't let social media use you.
Contact a marketing company. Hey, I have this business. Even if you're in sales, how do you drive more business? Even though your company's driving leads for you, how can you maximize yourself? It's fascinating. That's the good thing about social media, I see. We can always talk about the bad things, but there's always an awesome thing about it because you are a lot of antennas, man. You are dealing with the world, and the world's flat now. So it's really. I'm speaking to people from India, Sydney, Australia. Beautiful. I would never ever meet these individuals. Even some people I may be doing business with. I'm finding some incredible young entrepreneurs that are. I'm still looking for that Bobby. I haven't seen that Bobby yet because when I see that Bobby, I'm going to know him or her right away just by looking and what business they're in. I would never meet these individuals if it wasn't for the social media. So there's a return on this investment too.
Absolutely. This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for social media.
Absolutely.
I love how you talked about, the introversion because, personally myself, like I grew up shy as well. Introverted. And again, that's like my listening skills. And I love the DISC assessment. I'm an INFJ, so I'm the counselor personality, right? And I'm a very high I, right? So it's like I like to have things kind of structured and ordered, planning and things. So, and it's so critical, especially with the people skills, especially, and having that alone time. And I always like to do this, Bobby. Every single day I take boring walks. So I'll literally go to a park and then just have a walk between me, myself, and I. And then I'll talk out loud to myself about what it is I'm going to do for the day, what it is that's on my mind. Talking in the mirror, I've done speeches in the mirror.
Awesome.
Right, ever since I've been young. So having that time to ourselves, to what you were saying, it's so critical because you don't have somebody else that's like, blabbering in your ears. It's like that intuition that's speaking, and I love that so much that you brought that up because I feel like a lot more people need to do that. And it's not weird. It's not weird at all to just have a conversation with yourself. No, because when you fall in love with you first, instead of falling in love with others, the reason you might not have that mate, the reason you might not have found that partner yet, the reason you might not have found,
you're not putting a value on yourself.
Exactly. But and you're trying to put the value on them, but
incredible. You know what I love, Nate? And for everyone takes a shower.
Yeah.
At least absolutely. I hope you do.
Yeah, I hope so.
When we're in the shower, I take about 4 or 5 a day.
Okay. You serious?
And only when we're taking a shower, I don't know if it happens to you. You're taking a shower, and a lot of people may take a shower. They're thinking about all their problems, or thinking about maybe where they're going to go that night, whatever the case may be. But if you're taking a shower and you're getting that warm water on you, always when I'm taking a shower, man, I am thinking about everything that has how I can get value today. I'm not thinking about like yesterday's problems or issues. That was yesterday. I'm thinking about the value. So I got obsessed a long time ago. As long as I give value the next 24 hours, even if it's running into the dude that's washing my car, I'm going to give a good value exchange, a customer. I'm giving value for the next 24 hours nonstop to anybody and anyone. Value, value, value. Just imagine if you just think about this next time you take a shower saying, you know what, I listened to that dude. He sounds like he's off his charts here, but let me give it a try. Let me figure out how to get this value proposition in my head to say the next 24 hours, I am going to give value to my relationships, my customers, my business, my goals. Just value, value, value. If you're going to give value, just if everyone can focus on just giving value on anything you do, I promise you, you will be successful financially for sure, but you will get more out of life. More opportunities will come to you. It's this weird energy. And I'm not a religious guy. My mom, she was Catholic. My dad was Catholic. Then they put us in Baptist, Christian on a Sunday.
Okay,
I just believe there's some sort of energy. I don't know what I believe in, to be honest with you.
Right.
I believe in being nice, that's for sure. But
Absolutely.
just focus on value, man.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like a label at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, like the religion and stuff. Man, that's powerful. And that's the thing. Like people can feel your energy. Again, you know, I personally look at others on social media. If I genuinely want to connect with them, I can kind of base their content, their videos, you know, off of how they speak, just to see if they're genuine. And it's just that energy is so contagious.
And think about that. That's what customers
Yeah.
feel the same way. So if you're in sales like I am,
Yeah.
be aware of value and give sincere value, because your customers, the other side of that person that you're speaking to, is going to receive something from you. And there's a connection there, man. I know it's kind of warpy, and I know it's crazy, but that's just how I can explain, you know, some of my experience.
Absolutely. And then do your research too on some of these people.
Yeah, dude,
because-
do some due diligence. I mean,
mean-
value your minute. What is your minute worth? My minute, you know, I don't know. You know, when you're making X amount of 15 million a year, you're doing stuff like that. You start doing the vision of your minute. Every time so how I looked at it and still look at it, if I'm arguing with Sophie, my wife, or if I'm in a little moody Rudy thing, and I'm in, what is this minute costing me? Besides, I never get it back. I just burned a minute out of my life on this wasted value. Instead of giving value, I was just destroying value. You never get the minute back. What is your minute worth? It's priceless.
Yeah.
So talk about listening. That's where you get the value from. You know, then you can give value. You get value. You give value. You get value. You become wealthy like this. I do it, man. This every day.
Yeah. Listening is one of the greatest gifts that you can really instill within yourself. Like literally. Bobby, I want to be respectful of your time, of course. So.
I'm sorry for getting all on topic.
No,
it's hard
no.
to keep me, some of these podcasters, you're good. You handle me really
Thank you,
good.
brother.
A lot of them, I you know, they're probably saying, man, this dude is all over the
They'll
place.
probably be like, oh, I don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
And then I love flowing, you know, like this because it's you talk about things that you don't necessarily expect. You know, I never plan. I never plan to have certain questions to go off of because I feel like that's just, you know, you're not necessarily going off of the moment.
Yeah.
And I love the moment. I love the energy and things. So I guess, you know, where can they find you on social media since you're on it now? And, you know, different links or maybe.
My son created a Instagram account, official Bobby Castro. And then you can swim around there and find me on Facebook, LinkedIn. For the ones that are really crazy about Instagram, Instagram is great. And I found out as being a remedial user. And it's fascinating because you can do everything on Instagram without going. But there's one social platform a lot of the young people should really start paying attention to. There's so much opportunity in there, guys. Try to sub some of the Instagram activity going on. Spend some time on LinkedIn. There's a lot of you want to become successful entrepreneurs. Swim in LinkedIn a little bit more than you do on Instagram, a little bit more on the Facebook. They're all good. I'm just a rookie. On LinkedIn, pay attention to it. Give a couple high fives to some people in there. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily even just have to like own a business or be
no,
a business
man.
owner.
You're exposed, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention names, but I know some people that I hang with and all that. They're extremely successful. They're on that LinkedIn, and you'll be surprised. Sending them a wink, there'll be a Bobby Castro high fiving you back.
For real, you got fitness gurus, you got people that are just
it's
going viral, like the because their algorithms more friendlier compared to like an Instagram and a Facebook, and
but it's a lot of good business opportunities in there of all different industries. Really something that I was never on LinkedIn before. I always had a profile, I think, in my business, but I never ever touched none of this stuff until 5 months ago. But LinkedIn is really something that a lot of young people should at least pay attention to.
Absolutely, Bobby. Real quick before we end, first off, I want to, commend you for being who you are,
brother.
Like, really. I want to commend you for just being real, being authentic, being genuine, and bringing that energy to the table, because that's something that it exalts a room. I know when you're around people, just it's contagious, and you bring that out of them, because you're bringing it out of me,
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
So it's inspiring, and I support everything, and I love, what you do. So before we end it, Bobby, I always like the guest to drop one piece of wisdom. I know you dropped so many nuggets today, but for the youth, the millennial generation, maybe somebody that's 50 years old, they're listening to this right now. What is one thing that I like to call it an execution step that you would like to instill within that listener, within that viewer that's watching this? They're in the car, maybe, going to work, and they're struggling. They're on the brink of something that's just like, it's so tough. They're just struggling. Maybe they're depressed, right? What's that one thing that you would like to, lead them with today?
It shall pass. It will pass. There's a lot of people going through a lot of things. I definitely have, and there's some people even just some dark things going on. I've been communicating with some people on social media, and they're going through a rough situation. It will pass. It shall pass, and the only way it shall pass, if you start paying attention to the value you give to life, man. And I want to, what worked for me in some dark moments in my life. A lot of people want to put changes like goals and this and that. Pick 3 things what you would change of yourself. What are 3 things that you can improve upon better? Maybe to get a little bit more positive. Maybe to not surround yourself with some of that misery that maybe you're swimming around right now. It shall pass, and the only way it's going to pass is, man, value yourself. What can you bring to life? What is so special about you? There's only one of you. What is your sauce, man? So all of you can do it, man. If I did it, all of you can do it. And for the ones that are really, really struggling, for the ones that I've been chatting with a lot lately, going through some incredible things I have never went through in my life, I can't even think of how to guide you or help you. It'll pass, man. It'll pass. Stay strong. Stay strong. Just find 3 things how you can. What can you improve? 3 areas of yourself, because there's one of you, man. Just value yourself better. You're down and out. You're struggling. You're just in a dark spot. You're worth a lot, man.
Straight up, brother. I appreciate you sharing that, and I will attach all of the links in the description below, so you guys can check out Bobby. And
Thank you,
Bobby, again, I appreciate you,
brother. Thank you, dude.
Thank you. Yeah.